My name is Casey. Welcome to the iHeart Latin channel, lesson number 8, where we will be talking about adjectives of the third declension and adjectives governing case. So remember that adjectives are like nouns in that they are declined. They're going to have a different ending depending on the role of the word they're describing in the sentence. And remember last lesson, we talked about adjectives of the first and second declension. There's another group of adjectives that belong to the third declension. So again, these are similar to nouns in that they get declined. They differ a little bit from adjectives of the first and second declension. Those were pretty easy because you had already memorized all those declension endings. They have the exact same endings as nouns of the first and second declension. So no extra work there. You already know all that. Adjectives of the third declension, however, differ slightly in their declension endings than nouns of the third declension. So if you don't have your chart handy, pull it out. If you don't have one of these charts already, I'll put a link in the description. You can download it. Handy thing to have around. And we're just going to kind of look at the differences. So if we look at the third declension, so this box down here in green, I've got a couple examples up here on the board of adjectives that belong to the third declension. So you see we have fortis a, brave, omnis a, all. So when you see an adjective of the third declension listed like this, these are the potential endings of these particular words. So here we have the possible masculine and feminine endings. Over here we have the possible neuter endings. So just like adjectives of the first and second declension, these guys need to be chameleons. They need to be able to modify a masculine noun, a feminine noun, or a neuter noun. So we need to have options because remember, they need to match the noun that they're describing in gender, number, and case. We need to have options for them to be able to do that. So if you look at your chart, you'll notice that there are a couple of differences. So a noun of the third declension, we know that the nominative singular is various, right? There's a lot of possible different endings there. So no difference there, right? Various, and then is, e, m, and then here we have a long I, not an E. So that's different. We'll have to remember that the ablative singular is different than a noun from the third declension. And if we look over here in the neuter, again, if you're looking at your chart, that's the light green. So for a noun, it would be various in this nominative singular. Is, e, various, again, so that's the same, right? We've got these two things are matching. And then it would be again, there's a long I instead of an E, so that's different. And then over here in the plural for the neuter, it's IA in the nominative plural, not just an A. And again here in the accusative plural, it's IA, not an A. So there are several slight differences. We just need to memorize those. I put them up here on the board just for reference sake. And the other rules apply to adjectives of the third declension as well. So, like I mentioned, they must match the noun they're describing in gender, number, and case. Adjectives of quality come after the noun that they're describing, and quantity comes before. So those same rules apply. It's just that we need to remember that there's some slight differences in the declension endings. Okay, so let's look at the sentence I have here on the board. The brave friend saw the enemy. So again, first we need to determine what role these words are playing in the sentence. So who or what is the sentence about? It's not about the brave, right? It's about the friend. So here's my nominative. Is friend singular or plural? It's singular. And what's my GNC rule? So I've got number, I've got case, I need the G, which is gender. The word friend, is that masculine, feminine, or neuter? Well, I know the word friend is amicus, amici. That belongs in the second declension. That's a masculine word. What is my friend doing or being? He's seeing. And who or what is he seeing? The enemy. So here's my direct object, my accusative. And then the word brave, what role is that playing in this sentence? Well, remember that an adjective will answer the question, which, whose, what kind, how many. So what question is this word answering? What kind, right? What kind of friend? A brave friend. So I know that this is an adjective. It's describing the friend, so I need to match brave to friend in gender, number, and case. So since this word is nominative singular masculine, I need to make this word also nominative singular masculine. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky. This noun belongs to the second declension, but this adjective belongs to the third. So I need to choose masculine endings for the adjective, but I'm going to choose from my masculine. So here you'll see these are the masculine feminine options. Over here are the neuter options. I'm going to pick one of these because the masculine and feminine happen to be the same in the third declension adjectives. I'm not going to use endings from the second declension because the word for brave is an adjective that belongs to the third declension. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. Sometimes people are tempted to just whatever declension the noun belongs to, you want to use those same ones for the adjective. But you have to remember, they may belong to different declensions and they have to stay there. So what is my word for friend? Nominative singular masculine is amicus. And if I want to say a brave friend, that is a quality adjective. It's going to come after the word friend. And I need to pick nominative singular masculine ending for the word brave. So I'm going to look over here on my chart. Nominative singular masculine, fortis. So it would be amicus fortis. Noting that these two words belong to different declensions, but they're both masculine, they're agreeing in gender, number, and case. Okay, let's talk really briefly about adjectives that govern case. So there's an idea that certain adjectives are so powerful, they don't need a preposition. And whatever curriculum you're using, those adjectives will be listed, and it will always tell you what case that particular adjective takes. So for instance, cupidus aum, this always takes the genitive case. So if ever you're using this word, you can use it without a preposition as long as the word that follows takes the genitive case. So what do I mean by that? If I said Caesar is eager for victory, again, I need to start out by identifying what role these words are playing in the sentence. So who or what is the sentence about? It's about Caesar. He's my nominative. He's singular and masculine. What's he doing or being? Well, he is. And can I say Caesar is who or what? I can indeed. So I might be tempted to think this is a direct object, but then I have to ask myself, is this an action verb? Is Caesar doing anything? No. If he's not doing anything, that means that I probably have a linking verb on my hands, which makes this either a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. Is this word a noun? Is it a person, place, thing, activity, or idea? No. Is it describing Caesar? Yes, it is. So this word is an adjective. We call that a predicate adjective. I talked about those in the last lesson. And I know my rule for adjectives is it has to match the thing that it's describing in gender, number, and case. So in this case, eager is describing Caesar. So I'm going to use nominative, singular, masculine endings for the word eager. And I look up here and I see my adjective eager, cupidus aum. So we talked about this kind of adjective in the last lesson. This is an adjective that belongs to the first or second declension. So since I need a masculine ending here, I'll have to choose endings from the second declension since that's my masculine endings. But if I look at this word for victory, in English, this would be a preposition, this would be an object of the preposition, and that's how we would label that. However, this particular adjective is an adjective that governs case. It's powerful, it doesn't need a preposition, as long as we put the word that follows it in the genitive. We just have to follow that rule. So not every adjective that governs case will take the genitive. Some take the dative. The curriculum that you're using will list that. So let's just put this whole thing together. So I will put this in the genitive, singular, and I know that my word for victory is feminine. So I would say, Caesar est cupidus, because that's my second declension masculine endings. And then I would just say victoriae, because that's my genitive singular feminine ending for Victoria, Victoriae. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comment section. I will try to answer them as quickly as possible. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, hit the bell if you want to be notified when a new episode is out. Thank you for watching. Walete.